Hello, and welcome to our video on Paul Bunyan, a legendary figure in American folklore, and the inspiration for my D&D character. Paul Bunyan is known for his larger-than-life size and incredible feats of strength. He was a giant lumberjack who roamed the forests of North America with his equally large blue ox, Babe. The exact origins of Paul Bunyan and the stories surrounding him are difficult to trace, as they were primarily passed down through oral tradition before being written down in the early 20th century. Some scholars believe that the character of Paul Bunyan may have originated in French-Canadian folklore, as there are similar legends about giant lumberjacks in that culture. Others suggest that the stories may have been inspired by real-life lumberjacks and logging camps that existed during the 19th and early 20th centuries. The first written account of Paul Bunyan appeared in 1910 in a story by James McGillivray in the Detroit News Tribune. This was followed by a series of stories published by William Loghead in various magazines in the 1920s, which helped to popularize the character and solidify his place in American folklore. The stories of Paul Bunyan and his exploits were often told around campfires and in logging camps, and they were passed down from one generation to the next through word of mouth. Over time, the tales became more elaborate and exaggerated, with Bunyan's size and strength growing to ever more fantastic proportions. The stories often focused on his role in the logging industry and his battles against the forces of nature, such as storms and wildfires. According to legend, Paul Bunyan was so large at birth that it took 5 storks to carry him to his parents. He grew up in the woods, where he learned to chop down trees and ride on the back of Babe, the blue ox. Babe was Bunyan's faithful companion and was said to be just as large and strong as his master. The two of them traveled together, with Babe helping to haul the massive logs that Bunyan chopped down. One of Paul Bunyan's most famous feats was the creation of the logging camps that were essential to the logging industry's success. He was always on the lookout for the perfect spot to set up his logging camp, and he was known for his uncanny ability to find just the right location. When he found a suitable spot, Paul would use his incredible strength to clear the land, often uprooting entire forests with a single swing of his axe. He would then supervise the construction of the camp, which would include bunkhouses for loggers, stables for the oxen and horses, and kitchens to feed the crew. In addition to setting up the physical infrastructure of the camp, Paul Bunyan was also responsible for hiring and managing the loggers who worked there. He was known for his no-nonsense approach to discipline and was not afraid to use his enormous size and strength to keep the men in line. Despite the demanding and sometimes dangerous nature of the work, many loggers were drawn to Paul's camps because of the camaraderie and sense of adventure that came with working for such a legendary figure. To this day, the logging camps established by Paul Bunyan remain a symbol of the hard work, determination, and spirit of adventure that have come to define the American logging industry. The Great Pancake Challenge is a popular story in the Paul Bunyan legend. According to the story, Paul and his crew were so hungry one morning that they decided to make a giant pancake to feed everyone. Bunyan himself mixed the batter, using a large lake as his mixing bowl, and his crew helped to cook the pancake on a griddle that was so large it required a team of men wearing ice skates to butter the surface and cook the pancake evenly. However, the sheer size of the pancake made it difficult to flip, and Bunyan's first attempt sent the pancake flying all the way to the Pacific Ocean, where it eventually became part of the Hawaiian Islands. Bunyan's second attempt fared better, and he was able to flip the pancake back onto the griddle, where it cooked for several more hours. When the pancake was finally done, Bunyan and his crew used shovels to slide it onto a giant wagon, which they used to transport the pancake to a nearby logging camp. There, the pancake was served with syrup made from the sap of the giant maple trees that Bunyan had felled with a single stroke of his axe. Another popular story of Paul Bunyan's legend was the creation of the Great Lakes in North America. The story goes that when Paul and Babe were walking through the region that is now Minnesota, Babe's large footprints filled with water and created what is now known as the Land of 10,000 Lakes. Paul was impressed with the beauty of the area and decided to create an even larger body of water, which he did by using his axe to carve out the channel for the mighty Mississippi River. As he swung his axe, chunks of earth flew in every direction, forming the hills and valleys of the region. Once the Mississippi was created, Paul noticed that the water was stagnant and needed a way to flow freely into the sea, so he decided to dig a channel from the river to the Atlantic Ocean, which he accomplished by dragging his axe through the ground to form the St. Lawrence Seaway. These larger-than-life feats have made Paul Bunyan a beloved figure in American folklore, with his stories continuing to be told and adapted for new generations. The history behind the legend of Paul Bunyan emerged in the late 19th and early 20th centuries in the United States, during a time when the logging industry was booming and the country was experiencing rapid industrialization and expansion. The stories of Paul Bunyan and his incredible feats served as a kind of folklore and helped to capture the imagination of a nation in the midst of transformation. At the time, logging was one of the country's most important industries, providing lumber for building homes, ships, and other essential structures. The industry was also incredibly dangerous, with loggers facing risks of falling trees, dangerous machinery, and harsh weather conditions. The legend of Paul Bunyan offered a way for loggers to make sense of their experiences and to celebrate the unique culture and traditions that had developed around their work. The stories were often told around campfires and in logging camps, and they served as a way to bond over shared experiences and to find humor and inspiration in the face of danger and hardship. Over time, the legend of Paul Bunyan became part of the broader American cultural landscape, with the stories being adapted and retold in a variety of forms, from children's books and cartoons to stage productions, and even a theme park dedicated to the legendary lumberjack. With his larger-than-life feats and his loyal companions such as Babe the Big Blue Ox, Paul Bunyan captured the imagination of generations of Americans and continues to inspire us with his tales of adventure and perseverance. Through his stories, we're reminded of the vital role that logging played in shaping the country's history, and of the enduring spirit of innovation and resourcefulness that has helped to define the American character. Today, the figure of Paul Bunyan continues to be a beloved and enduring symbol of the American spirit of adventure, ingenuity, and strength. We hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave us a like, share, and subscribe. And we hope to see you in the next video.